Um, what's the secret, if there is one, to staff retention? You know, you get those, you invest the money, you get in attracting the right people, and how do you keep them?
Well, listen, I think, again, in hospitality, you're always going to have a high level of turnover because we're dealing primarily with young people coming into this. We talked about ambition and drive. We talked about extra capacity and opportunities. So you have to be realistic that you're probably going to keep people for a set number of years. My philosophy is always, if you're going to move on to something better. And if we equip you with the skills to move on to something better, we'll generally be able to replace you in the business and create a sort of virtuous cycle. The challenge with engagement is there is no one single thing you need to do. If you look, we became part of Best Companies 3 or 4 years ago to provide us with a framework, and they have got 8 factors of engagement. But there's a number of things you need to do. But I think to keep it really, really simple, I think you need to give people what you promise them. So if you interview someone and you give them a job description, make sure you're sticking broadly to what it is you believe you said you were going to deliver for them. I think, like the woman in manager, I think you need to communicate with them regularly. I think you need to be honest with them, and I think you need to encourage and support them in as much as you can. And that's about regular, honest communication on how the business is progressing, how they're progressing, and they need to see a future either within your business, and it doesn't necessarily have to be within your business. I'm realistic about the fact that not everybody who's in our business is going to stay in our business. In fact, they couldn't, because they are going to grow. So I haven't got an issue with that. As long, I'd like them though to stick to the kind of guidelines that we've agreed, whether that be 3 to 5 years, and I say then they create opportunities for others. But I think there are a number of things you have to do, and it's not just about the senior managers all the way down in the business, because the challenge I frequently find is at senior level we want the right thing, and even at director level we want the right thing, but you often find there's some HODs there that maybe have old-fashioned views that may well be affecting your engagement in your business without you being aware of it, because it's often simple stuff like how rosters are managed, or how I think engagement is often impacted by small stuff. It's the small stuff actually causes the biggest emotion. Not being allowed to go on holiday at a particular time, or having to work every single weekend, or if you approach your manager, not maybe treated with the empathy and respect that you feel you deserve. And remembering everybody's different, and what annoys one person maybe war off ducks back to somebody else. So I think we have to train our managers to be emotionally engaged and sort of more sensitive than we have in the past, to just read people. And I always recognize how people feel is reality. You may not agree with how they feel. I frequently had feedback myself about a situation, which has come as no surprise to you, where I kind of felt, I don't think you actually really should feel that way, but you know what, if you do, I'm going to come and have a chat with you and put you back on the right emotional level where I need you to perform. Because if people are upset or lack engagement, they can quite visibly look quite happy, but they can be sort of not paddling underneath and can be affecting other people. And we've got some small departments in our hotel are very, very impactful. Like my revenue department, there's 2 managers in there, broadly speaking. If one or other of them, for example, was unhappy for whatever reason, the impact of that on my revenue could be very significant. I just picked them because they're a small department, by the way.
Yeah.
But, you know, you need to be conscious of that, and conscious across the whole business that all your managers are not dismissive of engagement as one of these sort of newfangled terms, which I have to say in traditional 5-star hospitality, the term engagement there can be some skeptics around it because they come through that tough school. But nevertheless, going back to what we said about new entrants into the industry, they have different expectations and they can get that in different places. So one of the competitive angles you can have now as a business is to be truly engaging. If you look at the Pig Hotel Group, or Le Manoir, Cat Saison, they've got fantastic Ferndale hotels. They've got some fantastic things going on in their companies, things that you notice. When I go to conferences and stuff, I often look at junior managers and how they conduct themselves and how they behave. Are they speaking on panels? And I kind of judge a company on how visible their people are. I see some major brands never represent themselves anywhere. So I see them all, they're like kind of cults. And if you stay within that brand, maybe everything would be okay compared to wait for 10 or 15 years. But for those in the independent sector, I encourage my people to go out and see different things and go to conferences. People say, don't let them out because they might be pinched. I don't worry about that, because if they are, they are. That means we haven't got the right package, or we haven't got the right setup for them anyway. If they're going to go, they're going to go anyway.
Yeah.
It's about them getting out and meeting other people, recognize the grass is not always greener in some cases, And some of my people are on Master Inn-holders courses. I've got 3 now on the Master Inn-holders diploma this year. The biggest learning for them is going into other hotels. One of my front office managers was in a hotel last week, and she asked for slippers, and the hotel said, "Oh, the slippers are at the end of the corridor in the housekeeper's cupboard." Now, she wasn't dismissive of that, by the way. She was very empathetic to that hotel, and I thought that was really good for her to learn. Not every hotel is a 5-star. Not every hotel has somebody available to go and give a guest slippers. It's not quite the right answer, but it's really good for them to understand that the industry isn't exactly as it is in the hotel that you're in. And you can find people spend 4 or 5 years in a 5-star hotel and not go anywhere because they're not generally paid enough to go and experience 5-star hotels as a residential guest. They don't necessarily experience the service they're providing. And if they then leave and go to a 4-star or a non-branded hotel, they might get a big, big wake-up call, and they frequently do. So I think by getting them out and experiencing other properties, it's really, really helpful because there is only a handful of 5-star luxury hotels in London or across the UK. And if they want to progress up to management positions, they will frequently have to leave that lovely environment, though it's very challenging, and move into, and the new boutique luxury sector, as you know, isn't really branded at all. And it's providing luxury in a very, very different way. The fundamentals are the same, but they need to understand how they can operate and deliver luxury service without the massive infrastructure that's available in traditional 5-star and in some cases traditional 4-star hotels.
Hi, I'm Lisa. I hope you enjoyed the film. If you did, please like and share. And if you've got any comments or any questions, just leave them in the box below and I'll come back to you there. Also, the links to my website, Power for Success, are below as well. Have a little look around there. And I hope you enjoyed the channel and have a really lovely day.